Okay, guys, welcome to this video. In this video, we're going to talk about some of the questions that are important for you in the second term final. So first, we're going to start with graphs اللي هي unit 5 عندي 5.1 direct proportion. ضروري نفهم شو معنى direct proportion. direct proportion معناها حاجة أو حاجتين يزيدوا مع بعضهم ينقصوا مع بعضهم. يبدأ من زيرو أول حاجة ويزيدوا مع بعضهم ينقصوا مع بعضهم. يعني مثلا for example here هنلاحظ ان هذا بادئ من الاوريجن اللي هي 0 بوينت ويرجع مع بعضهن. لما يزيدن مع بعضهن، هذه معنى دايركت بروبورشن. يعني يكون عندي ستريت لاين لايك ذس. هذا ستريت لاين لكن مش بادئ من 0 بوينت، معناها ما هوش دايركت بروبورشن. يعني ضروري نفرق بين الحاجه الدايركت بروبورشن. هذه ماهيش دايركت بروبورشن، هذه دايركت بروبورشن لانها بادئه من 0 ستريت لاين. هذه ماهيش ستريت لاين معناها مش دايركت بروبورشن. هذه ستريت لاين بادئه من الاوريجن معناها دايركت بروبورشن، وهذه مش بادئه من الاوريجن معناها ماهيش دايركت بروبورشن. Now let's move on. If you have any questions, any problems, you can send them on the WhatsApp group, and then I can work with you on the questions. تمام. هنبدأ بالdirect proportion and how to answer questions regarding direct proportion. أنا مثلا عندي 1 pound equals 170 yen. How many yen would you get for 12 pounds? طبعا in these questions you can use the X method. كيف the X method؟ مثلا أنا عندي pound وعندي yen. ندير أول حاجة pound نكتبها حتى P، ونكتب تحتها الرقم اللي موجود في الكويشن اللي هو الاكسشينج ريت، وهذه ين نكتبها واي. تمام، مثلا واي و 170. تمام، like this. هذا الاكسشينج ريت اللي قاعد شنو في الكويشن. تمام. And then I use it to answer the question. Can you please explain? Yeah, I'll try my best to explain in English. I just want to mix like Arabic and English so like all of you understand. Okay. Okay. So 1 pound equals 170 yen. Now, how many yen would you get for 12 pounds? Now, this one is a 12 pound, so I'm going to put it under the pound here. Okay. And then I need to find out how many yens will that get me. So I'm going to put a box here, put a box, empty box, and then use the X method. The X method means what? It means you put an X like this between them, multiply the ones connected with the line, and then divide them by the other one. So I'm going to multiply 170 by 12 using the calculator, of course, because it's allowed for you guys. So 170 times 12. Sorry, my calculator is loading. 170 times 12 equals 2040. And then divided by 1 is going to be 2040. So the answer will be 2040. Again, you can use the X method. We call this the X method or the cross multiplying method. In all of the questions with direct proportion, as long as they are in direct proportion, you can use them, okay? So I don't have to explain all the questions. You understand the ideas. As long as both of these, the ones on top of each other, have the same units, you can use this method, okay? Multiply the ones connected with a line and divide on the one that you didn't use. Now let's move on to the next question. Here. Same idea, cross, 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 cross to all of them, okay? And then you can find the missing numbers. We understand the meaning of direct proportion and the difference in graphs in direct proportion. Uh, yes, second. As I said, you can send the questions privately on the WhatsApp, okay? I know you can write on the group. You can send them privately, okay? Okay, let's move on here. We have a conversion graph of inches and centimeters. Uh, uh, as we said, direct proportion is two things that increase with each other and start from the 0 point, which is the origin. This is the direct proportion. You can understand from here. You can use a conversion graph to find the values using direct proportion. So let's take a look at this question, for example. Here, the question says, are inches and centimeters in direct proportion? You say yes because they start from the origin and they go up as a straight line. Okay. Copy and complete. 4 inches equals how many centimeters? You come to the inches here. 4 inches, you go up until the line stops you. And then you go back to the centimeters. So it's 10. You write 10 here. So approximately 10 centimeters. And then 17 inches, 17 centimeters, which is here. You go until the line stops you, and then you go back, which is 7 inches, approximately 7 inches. Okay. Which is longer, 6 inches or 14 centimeters? Same idea. You're supposed to find both of them. So, for example, 6 inches will be here. That's the 6 inches. And the 14 centimeters will be here, which is less, I think. Yeah. So the 6 inches is bigger than the 14 centimeters. You can find the exact number for each one of them because the 6 inches will be, I think, 15 centimeters. And this means the 6 inches is longer than the 14 centimeters. Okay. A car part needs to be exactly 5.3 inches long. How many centimeters is this? Same idea. You convert the 5.3 inches, which is 5.3 here. You convert it to centimeters like this. So it's almost like 13 centimeters, maybe 13 centimeters. This is the idea of using conversion graphs, okay? Same idea here, conversion graphs. Now, as you can see, this is not direct proportion because they don't start from the 0 point. But you can use these conversion graphs to answer the questions, okay? Same idea. Here, this is direct proportion because it starts from the origin and goes up in a direct proportion. They increase with each other. You can use it to answer the questions. Same idea. I don't want to waste time on questions like this. As long as you understand the idea. As I said, if you have any problems, send them on the Whats. I'll explain them and send them back, okay? Uh, Interpreting graphs. Here, same idea. We're talking about graphs using plans. For example, a question like this, we have two plans, plan A and plan B. How much does it cost for 100 minutes on both plans? So first, you find the 100 minutes here. You go up. The first plan will stop you. It's plan B. It costs 10 pounds, right? And then the 100 minutes on plan A, it costs 14 pounds. Okay? So you write them like this. And then, as we said, we use conversion graph to answer questions like these. They're so easy. They don't have a lot of steps. Just follow the lines and then they will give you the answer. What's the maximum amount you can pay on plan B? The maximum amount you can pay on plan B. So this is plan B. That's the maximum amount you can pay, which is 20 pounds. 20 pounds, okay? And what is the maximum amount on plan A? So plan A, the maximum amount is here, which is uh, 16 pounds. 16 pounds, okay? At how many minutes is the largest difference between them? So the largest difference between the two plans is over here, right? It's on the 0 minutes. This is the largest difference between them. It's the 0 minutes because you're paying a flat fee on plan A for just starting the plan. But plan B, you don't pay anything. So that's the difference or the biggest difference between them. For how many minutes of calls do both plans cost the same? They cost the same here. Uh, the question is how many minutes? So we come to the minutes. It's 150, right? 150 minutes. 150 minutes. And then on plan C, you pay 18 pounds per month for unlimited calls. Which plan should each person choose? Let's see this. We have to go down. There's a table, I think. Yeah. So, plan C, you pay 18 pounds per month for unlimited calls. So, which plan do you think it's the best? Hannah, average minutes of calls per month is 30. She calls 30 minutes per month. So, which one is better for her? You come to the 30 minutes. Plan B is the first one, right? She pays less for plan B. So, this one, plan B. Jeff, 200 minutes. So you come to the 200 minutes. He has, or he should use plan A because it's the first one, the cheapest for him. And then Matt is 160. So 160 is here. Okay. Now, that's the idea of this question. Which plan should each person? On plan C, you pay 18 pounds per month for unlimited calls. So here, 18, as we said, 18 pounds, it means it's here. So which is better for the 200 minutes, Jeff? It's better to take the C, right? because he can take, yes, he can take unlimited amount of minutes, unlimited amounts of minutes. Okay. Now, instead of paying the £20 for the 200 minutes, he can take the free calls for 18 pounds per month. Okay. Yes. Now let's move on. As we said, these questions you have to understand the ideas rather than memorize them. Okay. Here we have the meaning of trends. You have to understand what's the meaning of trend. There's an increasing trend and there's a decreasing trend. Increasing, it means they are going up. For example, from here till here, this is an increasing trend. From here till here, decreasing trend. From here till here, increasing trend. It doesn't matter what's happening in the middle. Just look at the beginning and at the end. What's happening from the start and to the end, okay? If it's going up, it's increasing. If it's going down, it's decreasing. Here, describe the overall trend during the 2013. The overall, it means the beginning and the end. So from here till here, it's increasing trend. What was the difference in price from the start of 2013 to the end? This is the start, which is to 27, and the end was 38. So you subtract them. 38 minus 27, it's gonna be 11, right? 11 US dollars. Same idea, you use them to answer the questions, okay? Let's not waste time here. I just wanna make sure that you understand the meaning of words. Increasing going up, decreasing going down. Um, let's see. Ah, over expenditure or overspending. Overspending, it means you're spending more than your income. Okay? Because when you look here, this is the income, this is the income, and this is the expenditure, which is the spending. Overspending, it means you are spending more than the income. For example, these are the years. You can see that 2007 here, the expenditure, which is the spending, is more than income, more than the income. Okay? So we call this overspending. It's happening here in 2007. Okay? Now, what does the value of 300 on the vertical axis represent? The 300 here, what does it mean? It's 300,000. 300,000. Because each one is 1,000, so 300,000. Okay? 300,000 pounds. In 2008, what was the total expenditure of the council? 2008, the expenditure, which is the yellow one, this one, the orange one. How much money was it? It's 500,000, right? And then in which year was the income over 450,000? Over 450, 450 is here. We need an income over, which is looks like this one, 2004. This one, which is 2008. Um, these 11 and 12, and this one, which is 2013. These are the years that have an income over 450,000. In which year did the council overspend? Overspend means, as we said, the expenditure is more than the income, which is here in 2007. They spent more than the income. Okay. Now let's move on. Describe the trend. As we said, trend means increasing or decreasing. 28 to 210. 28, which is here, to 210. This is decreasing trend. And then 210 to 213. This is increasing trend. Okay. Focus on these ideas. Okay. Now let's move on. 5.3, distance time graph. Same idea, graphs, but we're going to talk about distance and time. Let's see here. First, we have to understand some questions. A train arrives into Cardiff, central from London, Paddington at 1:25 p.m. The train journey lasts 2 hours and 15 minutes. At what time did the train leave London, Paddington? So it arrives at Cardiff from London, Paddington at 1:25, and the journey is 2 hours and 15 minutes. So you're supposed to go back because they arrived at 1:25. So go back 2 hours and 15 minutes and check the time. So here, when we go back 2 hours, it means the time will be what? 11, right? So it's going to be 11. And then we go back 15 minutes, 15 minutes. So the time will be 10. So the journey started at 11:10. The journey started at 11:10. And Because this one is PM, it means this one will be AM. So after 2 hours and 15 minutes, so the journey started 11:10. After 2 hours and 15 minutes, it became 1 PM and 25 minutes. Okay? Write each time as a decimal. Half an hour, half means zero point 0.5, right? As a decimal. 3 hours, which is 3.0. This is as a decimal. Okay? And 2 and quarter. Quarter means 0.25. So it's going to be 2.25. This one is as a decimal. Okay? Let's take a look at this graph. This is a distance time graph. Distance is the vertical line. The time is here, which is the horizontal line. The horizontal line in distance time graph, it means stopping. It means not moving, okay? Here, horizontal, it means not moving. So focus on this. First, Tony walks from home to the bank. On the way home, he stops at the shops. So he went from here to the banks. He stops, okay? Tony walks from home to the bank. On the way home, he stops at the shops. The distance time graph shows the journey. Let's take a look, okay? So here, home, bank, and then goes back, shops, and then goes back. How far away is the bank from Tony's house? How far means what's the distance? So that's the house, that's the bank. So what's the distance? 800 meters. Good, 800 meters. Does his distance from home change between 10 and 25? So between 10 and 25 minutes. That's 20, so that's 10. So 10, 25 minutes. Does the distance change? No, it doesn't. It's the same distance because he's staying in the bank now. This is the bank, okay? So same distance. It didn't change. How long does Tony spend at the bank? He stayed at the bank from here, which is 10, till 25. So this means how many minutes? 10 to 25? 15 minutes. Yes, 15 minutes. How long does Tony spend at the shops on the way home? These are the shops. How long does he spend? It means time. From 40 till 50, which is 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Okay? Let me give me a second. Okay. As we said, he spends at the shops 10 minutes because from 40 till 50. How long does it take Tony to get from his house to the bank? From his house to the bank. So from his house, how long means what? Because how far means the distance. How long means the time. How long means the time. So from the bank, from his house to the bank, how long? House to the bank, which is here. So 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Um, how long does it take Tony to get from the bank to his house? This is the bank. This is his house. How long does it take from here? 25. Each box is 5 minutes, as you can see. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. So from here, which is 25, let's count. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So 30 minutes, right? 30 minutes. Yes, 30 minutes to get to his house. And that's the idea. Here, what does a horizontal line mean on a distance time graph? Horizontal line like this, it means the distance is not changing. It means the person is not moving. The person is not moving. And that's the idea of distance time graph, okay? Same ideas with all questions. You can read them, understand them. You can use them to find the speed. For example, for this one here, that's a distance time graph. To find the speed, speed equals what? Speed equals distance over time. Distance over time. So let's take a look at this question. How far, as you can see, this is a journey of school coach. Question one, how far is it from A to B? How far means what's the distance from A to B? A is 0, B is here, as you can see, between 100 and 200. So it's 150. So it's going to be 150 kilometers. 150 kilometers. Okay. So the distance between A and B is 150 kilometers. How long did it take the coach to travel from A to B? How long means the time? From 8 till 10, right? So it's 2 hours. 2 hours. Yes, 2 hours. And then calculate the average speed in kilometers per hour from these points. So average speed, you have to know that speed equals distance over time. Distance over time. You have to understand this. That speed equals distance over time. And to find the speed, you have to divide the distance by time. Let's talk about B to C first. From B to C, did the distance change? It didn't. It means the speed is zero. So the speed here is zero. Okay. And then C to D. From C to D, first you find the distance. 150 became 250. So what is the distance? 150 to 150? It's 100 kilometers. So the distance is 100 kilometers. And the time, so from C to D, the time is here from 11 till 1. So 2 hours. It means you divide the 100 by 2. Divide the 100 by 2. Okay. So this one is 2 hours. 100 divided by 2 is going to be 50. It's going to be 50 kilometers per hour. Okay. Per hour. And that's the C to D speed. Okay. And then E to F, from E till F, first you find the distance. It started 100 and 250, ends at 300. So the distance is 50. So distance is 50. You divide by the time from E, from 250 till 300, right? Yeah, 50. The time is 1:30 till 4:30. So how many hours? From 1:30 here. So 1, 2, 3 hours, right? 3 hours. So you divide by 3. 50 divided by 3, okay? So you divide 50 by 3 and you get the time, the speed that you want, okay? So 50 divided 3 will equal 16.6. 16.6. Or 16 and 1 and 2 over 3. So 16.6 kilometers per hour, okay? Kilometers per hour. And that's how you use distance time graph to answer questions. Now let's move on here. Now, when was the coach traveling the fastest? How can you tell from using this graph? When you look at the graph, how do you know that it's going fast or not? It depends on the steepness of the line, steepness or inclination of the line. This line is steeper than this line, do you see? And steepness means inclination. It means the tilting of a line. This one is steeper. It means going more distance in less time. This is the meaning of steepness. Going more distance in less time. So I can say that the A to B speed was the fastest on the graph because the line is steeper, okay? Or the steepest. And that's how you find out from the graph if it's traveling fast or not, okay? Okay, here, take a look at this. I don't think these questions are important for you, but you have to understand how to read graphs only. Here, Chris jogs 800 meters in 15 minutes to his friend's house. He spends 1 hour at his friend's house. Then he walks home in 30 minutes. Sanyas and Carl sketch graphs to show Chris's journey. This is Sanyas, this is Carl's. The question is, they are both incorrect. Explain why. I'll tell you why. This looks like this one. And here they said the first jog was 15 minutes and the second one was 30 minutes. 15 is less than 30. 15 is less than 30. It means this 15 minutes here and this one should be different, right? And then this one is wrong. Why? Because here, this doesn't look like an hour. This looks less than 15 minutes. You see it? So both of them are wrong. That's why, okay? But just to understand it, I don't know if this question is important for you guys, but just to understand, okay? And that's it for the distance time graph and how to interpret these graphs. Now let's move on to the next question. Next lesson here uh, we have is rates of change. Rates of change, it depends on graphs, same idea. Here, as you can see, this is a graph. You can read this graph or interpret it using the same ideas that we did. Okay. How much money will he have after 5 years? These are the years 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the money will be here, which is 2,500, for example. You can say 2,550 maybe. After how many years will he have 3,000? So you go to the 3,000. So after how many years? It's after 8 years. After 8 years. How much money did Gary invest at the beginning? The investment started here, which is 2,000 pounds. 2,000 pounds. Now, let's move on. How much was Gary's investment worth after 1 year? After 1 year, the investment is here, which it became 2,100. 2,100, okay? Or 2,150, something like this. So you have to understand how to interpret graphs and how to read them, okay? Here, these are different graphs. They will tell you why you have to understand what's happening. Match each race description. Maddie starts off quickly and then runs more slowly, okay? So running more slowly, you have to understand the idea. So this one here, quick means you have to understand the steepness. This means slow and then fast. Okay, slow and then fast. This is constant speed. Here, constant speed, it means this is B. Here, fast and then slow. So which one is fast? This guy, which is Maddie, or this girl, sorry. So this one is C. And then slow and then fast. So slow and then fast. This one is A. Okay. Just to understand how to interpret graphs and understand how to read them. Okay. Now let's move on. Same idea. Which one is faster? A is faster because it's steeper. This is less steeper. This one will fill faster. So this graph explains this, and this graph explains this. Same idea here. When you fill this with water, this one will be filled fast, and then this one slowly. So this graph will be the right one, which is fast and then slow. Okay. Same idea, match with each graph. This is a constant speed, so this one is constant. Here, fast, slow, fast. So here, fast, slow, fast. And here, starts fast and gets slower with time. So starts fast means it's narrow. So fast, fast, and then slow with time, okay? That's the idea of these questions, okay? Now let's talk about misleading graphs. Misleading graphs. Let's take a look. Misleading graphs, I just want you to understand the idea, okay? When you look here, for example, the question will tell you why is this graph misleading? Why this graph is misleading, okay? E- As we said, misleading graphs means graphs that have problems. For example, when you look at this one, the pie chart, this pie chart looks like it has problems. What kind of problems? First thing, when you add these numbers, you get more than 100, and this is wrong. The pie chart percentages should add up to 100. They should add up to 100. So this is one of the problems, okay? Second problem, it's not labeled. What's the meaning of labels? For example, you have to have names or colors, something to talk about. For example, here, this one talks about oranges, for example. They should label them. This is orange, this is apples, for example. This one is not labeled, so you don't know what is it talking about. It's only numbers, so no labels. Percentages add up to more than 180. And then when you look at this, the 34, the 27 looks bigger than the 34. So the sizes of the percentages parts looks misleading. That's the idea of misleading graphs, okay? You just have to understand how to talk about them. Other graphs, for example, here, you can look at this. This is misleading because the numbers looks like they didn't change. It looks the same from 2009 till 2013. And that's because the intervals here, the intervals between the numbers are small, so you can't use them, okay? And that's the meaning of misleading graphs. This one, there's a problem with the 3D graph. You can't read it perfectly, but this one you can read it with no problems. Here, it's not easy to read, okay? That's the whole idea of misleading graphs. You don't have to understand a lot about it. Just understand how to explain it. That's it. That's it for Unit 5. I hope you understood the idea. I'll see you. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.